Hello and welcome again to new live show on AUK Radio. I'm your host, Yinka. On today's show, as always, we're here to talk about our health and our well-being and everything else in between. So today's episode is no different. But before we get started, please, we're here to provide you with information for educational purposes only. We're not here to prescribe. We do suggest, but we don't prescribe. We don't claim to heal or cure any ailments whatsoever, and we do not diagnose. So please, in the first instance, before making any changes to your lifestyle, speak to your doctor. I've got two special guests on today. We're going to be talking about an issue that it's a woman's issue, but really and truly, it's a family issue and it's also a societal or community issue. So today we will be talking about fibroid. But before I bring my guests on, let me share a little bit about the topic of fibroid. Now, did you know that by the age of 50, it says up to 80% women will have fibroid? That means fibroid happens in women from young age before 50. And that's up to 80% of women worldwide have fibroid. And the study shows that Black women, Asian women are up to 3 times more likely to develop fibroid and to have larger tumors of fibroid. We will get a definition of fibroid shortly, and have more severe symptoms and often at a younger age. Yet, despite how common fibroids are, too many women, especially in our community, suffer in silence. From misdiagnosis to hysterectomies being offered as the first solution. The lack of awareness, options, and support is staggering. But today, we are changing that. So, welcome to the show, ladies. Welcome, Okwe. Welcome, Alera. Thank you for accepting our invitation to join us on the show today. How are we doing?
Thank you for inviting us. Thank you for inviting me. Doing okay.
Excellent.
Well, thank you, Yinka, for the invite. Yes, it's great to be here.
Thank you for coming.
I'm happy to be here. Thank you for the invite. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Okay. So I'm just going to read a summary of your bio. So I'll start with Okwe. Now, Okwe is a retired pharmacist with over 40 years of experience. She now works as a certified health and wellness coach. She's a nutritionist, a detox specialist, and the author of On Your Vitality. Through her podcast and a YouTube channel, On Your Health with Okwe, she's helping people reverse chronic illnesses and reclaim their energy and vitality, one day at a time. She's also the creator of the 21-day Kick Out Hypertension Challenge and a passionate health advocate in the United Kingdom and in Nigeria. And so we are also honored to welcome Aleyra Omishore, also known as Sisi Aleyra. She's a fierce women's health advocate, speaker, and blogger who has herself battled fibroid, endometriosis, and adenomyosis for over 30 years. She's the founder of Sisi Aleyra and the creator of Fem Power Hub, which is a safe space and online community where women are educated and empowered to take care of their reproductive health. Aleyra speaks boldly about the emotional, physical, and spiritual toil of womb disorders. And today, she will be sharing part of her deeply personal journey with us. So, whether you're living with fibroid yourself, supporting someone who is, or just wanting to understand your own body better, stay with us. We've got an important conversation ahead of us. So once again, ladies, welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you, Yinka.
You're welcome. You're welcome. So I am going to fire, but actually, before I start firing with those questions, let me start with this. Either of you can answer this. So when we talk about fibroid, what exactly is fibroid? Maybe give us a short definition of what it is, layman's language, so that our viewers and myself can understand really more about fibroid.
Okay, I would say fibroids. It's seen to be it's non-cancerous. It's a growth, and it grows in the muscular walls of the uterus. It can be found anywhere within or outside the uterus, really. So depending on where it is, will determine the kind of pain you feel, and also the procedure to take care of it as well.
Thank you. That was a short and sweet definition of the fibroid. Okwe, do you have anything to add to that definition?
No, she said it exactly. Yeah, I mean, there are different types. I think there are about 4 or 5, and their location actually determines the symptoms, and how they're going to handle it. So they have each of them has different ways in which they affect the body. So it's not fixed. So how a woman feels might depend on where the fibroid is actually located.
Okay. So the location determines the severity of the pain or the symptoms, as well as, I suppose. Okay. Does that mean they have different names then, depending on the location that you find them?
Yes, they have different names.
Okay, that makes sense. Okay. Well, thank you. Okay,
You're
so
welcome.
Alero, my first question to you is, again, thank you for being here. Can you take us back to the beginning when you first realized something wasn't quite right with your reproductive health?
I think my journey or my story begins from the age of 13, there about 12, 13, when I started seeing my periods. My periods actually started with pain. As I was getting older, it was getting worse. I was always having heavy bleeding from the get-go. It wasn't like, after a couple of years, but from the start, it was always heavy. Wow. And it's a norm for us to say, as Black people, even as women in general, to say, it's just normal. Your period is heavy, it's normal. You're in pain, it's normal. It's just your period. You're a woman, They make you manage it. And as I was getting older, it was getting worse until eventually I was in my third year back then in university, and I had to be rushed into hospital because I couldn't even stand. Wow. The pain was so bad. I've always had so much pain. Even I missed classes. I saw myself. It was really bad. And then that was my first time they had a scan done. And that's when I was told, you've got fibroids. I was like, what's fibroids? Never heard about it. We weren't even taught about fibroids in biology. And I also had ovarian cysts. And
fibroid.
So because of how I was, the doctor was like, how did you even manage with this? Because of how it was, the pain was really severe. So I had what's called open myomectomy, which is being cut open, just almost like having a CS.
Wow.
And that was my very first surgery. And my journey began from there. I got better with it. With a few years down the line, I think about 2 or 3 years, I was fine. No pain, no period, no heavy bleeding. I was like, wow. So this is what everybody has been enjoying. And then a few years later, I started feeling the cramps coming in, kicking in slowly. The pain was increasing. And then went again for a scan, and I was told, they're back.
Wow.
You have to have another surgery. I was like, no, I'm not having another surgery. I can't have another surgery. And I tried to manage it as best as I can. I mean, back then, 2008, no one was talking about it. I just tried to cope with it. My grandma would say, take a back then they tell you to drink whiskey or brandy to help with the pain. It didn't do much. It helped, but it didn't manage the pain. It just helps you. So it's just like taking painkillers. Really, you take painkillers, it just kills the pain a little bit, but you're still in pain.
Yeah.
And as the years went by, it got worse. I had a few more surgeries. Then I found a way to manage my fibroids by learning to eat, going the holistic way through a friend I met on social media during the lockdown. And I realized my fibroids stopped growing. I was like, okay, so it actually helps to what we feed ourselves also helps to manage it after the surgery, because I had surgery and I said, you know what, I don't want it to grow again. And that actually worked. But I realized my period was worse. My pain was worse. Period or no period, I'm in pain. My periods were staying. People say they have their periods for 5 days, 3 days. I was having my periods for months, nonstop.
Wow. With pain
with pain. Even when I'm not bleeding, I'm in pain. My quality of life was literally, it went down the drain. I couldn't keep up appointments. I couldn't say I'll meet you up somewhere or let's go somewhere, because I would always disappoint people. I didn't have a good quality of life, because I could wake up and feel okay this second, and the next second, that's it. I'm crawling. I'm holding on to things to move about. I can't walk. And there was a time, I tried to push myself. I could be walking down and it's pouring. I'm bleeding. It's going down my legs. It was really bad. I was always in A&E. And I said, something is wrong. I kept saying to my GP, something is not right. I don't know anyone who bleeds like this. I don't know anyone who changes their pads within an hour and, can't even do anything. And I kept pushing and pushing until eventually I was sent again for a scan and then for MRI. And then they said, oh, you've got adenomyosis. It was a journey before I got to that point. And this was between 2008 and 2018. Or 2018, I was diagnosed with adenomyosis.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And 2023, I got worse. More things kept happening to me. My body, I was breaking down. And then I said, I think I have endo, because I was struggling to go to the toilet. I was struggling. It was like doing everything was a struggle. I went into depression because I couldn't understand it. As a woman of faith, I was praying, I was doing everything, and I wasn't getting any better. 2023, another diagnosis, and I was told I had endometriosis, and I had bowel endometriosis. And that was why I was struggling to go to the toilet. And it also affected my fallopian tubes, my ovaries.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. My goodness. My heart goes to you. That's like a lot in just one body.
Yeah.
You had to.
So sorry you went through that.
Right?
Thank you.
I mean, that is a lot. That is a
lot. A lot.
It was a lot.
I survivor.
And having to keep smiling and acting like everything is okay along with it was,
So your story is by no means, one story in I don't know how many hundreds. I mean, based on the statistics I quoted earlier, about up to 80% of Black women, Caribbean, Asian women have fibroids. But from your story now, you had, I don't know, I keep tripping over that word, I apologize. Adenomyosis. And you've got endometriosis. You got 3.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. I'll come back to you because I was going to tell you to perhaps give us a little definition of those other 2. But I think we'll have another show just to, to talk about those 2. So today we'll try to stick to the fibroid. So, Opre, I'm coming to you. Now, you are a data specialist, a nutritionist, a health coach, and a pharmacist of over 40 years. And I know you've been working in this field of fibroids. So tell us a bit about, the fact that it affects more women in our communities. Why? Why does it affect more women in our community?
That is a very good question. Now, there are actually a couple of reasons why this happens, okay? Now, the first thing I want us to look at is the health and beauty products that Black women use.
Wow.
Yes. And there are a couple of documentaries on this. So like the relaxers and things like that, they contain endocrine disruptors.
Those ones.
Like the parabens. Yeah. And you see, it's more in the products for Black people. I know Black people how we are with our hair. We do all sorts of things. So there is that thing has really, really, really affected Black women. So that's one of the reasons, our health and beauty products. And that's one reason why, because when I was younger, I suffered from fibroids. I had very heavy periods. And, even I'd have to wear black skirts or black trousers and I had my periods and I'd be in pain. I'd have to take paracetamol and ibuprofen. And I didn't know much about healthy living then. So I had to wear so many sanitary towels, thick ones, not those thin ones you have now. I'd wear thick ones. So I know exactly. So, but I see now that a lot of things I was doing was actually aggravating it. So you have the endocrine disruptors, you do that. Then a lot of us, we put our meals in plastic.
Yes.
Hot meals in plastic. We expose ourselves to so much plastic, and plastic, when you put hot things and hot food into it or hot drinks into it, it leaches BPA into your food or your drink. So, and BPA is also another endocrine disruptor. Okay? So you've talked about the health and beauty products and then the containers we use. So that's why when I knew these things, even the ones that they call BPA free, I still run away from them. So some of them are just myths and all that. I prefer to use either silicone or stainless steel or glass as much as possible. And I wouldn't even put my food in the microwave anyway. So even if you are going to heat your food up in the microwave, it's not a good idea to use plastic either. So that apart. So the containers we use. And then even perfumes that we spray on our bodies. And you know how we are women and this thing, put it here, put it behind your ears, all these places. Perfumes contain phthalates too. And they actually wreak havoc on our hormones. They cause hormonal imbalances, estrogen dominance. So when I knew that too, I stopped spraying perfume on my body and I just put it on the clothes I wear. So that's another thing that aggravates it. Then let's talk about diet. Black people, we love red meat. And red meat has a negative effect when it comes to fibroids. Red meat and then processed meat. And until Africans or Black people when they develop a lifestyle of eating a lot of fruits and vegetables, which are loaded with antioxidants and what you call phytonutrients that contain healing substances, we will be having these issues. Then some of the foods we eat, especially modern day foods, are low in fiber. So when they're low in fiber, it's difficult for the liver. This I'm coming in from detox special now. The liver does a major work of helping to break down and deal with the excess estrogen. Remember that excess estrogen that is floating around is what is feeding the fibroids. So when the liver, there's not enough fiber to exit it out of the body, the liver, to help the liver to detox well and get rid of excess estrogen, then there's going to be so much free estrogen floating around in the body. And then so they can easily continue to feed. And let me add this thing too. Women that suffer a lot, this one is a double whammy. Women that suffer from constipation, if you suffer from constipation, it's most likely that your symptoms will be worse, your fibroids will be worse, because you are constipated and you cannot get rid of the excess estrogen that the body has broken down. So it's just there. So I don't forget that excess, when it's there for a long time, it backs up into the system.
That's right.
So that's another reason. And then obesity plays a role. When there is high body fat, there's an increase in estrogen levels. Let me bring this one in. Vitamin D levels. A lot of us are not, we don't check our vitamin D levels.
Yeah.
You know, and we live in a country where there's not so much sunlight. But Africans are also, they stay where there's a lot of sunlight. But our dark skin, it's when the sun hits our skin that it produces vitamin D naturally.
Yes, right.
But our skin is dark when you compare it to the Caucasians. So this dark skin it lowers the amount of vitamin D that is produced. And vitamin D is needed to regulate cell growth. And you do know that fibroids are what? Non-cancerous growths. So can you see the connection now?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so you need the vitamin D to help counter.
You need exactly. And then in Black people, it's believed that the fibroids in Black people are more sensitive to hormones. So maybe when you're eating a lot of red meat, a lot of this red meat is from, they fed the cows, they've given them antibiotics, they've given them steroids. So you already have imbalances. And then you now eat the red meat that is loaded with the steroids they fed the cows. So it's going to add to it. So it increases and there's this genetic thing that makes the fibroids in Black people be more sensitive to these hormones. And then there's the genetic disposition. Yeah. It seems to be a problem more with us than the Caucasians. But we know that the genes, are not the only thing that are important. It is the environment around the genes. That's when epigenetics comes in.
That's right.
So even if you have bad genes, what are you surrounding your genes with? You determine how the genes will express themselves. So is it your bad diet, or what you're drinking, or your thoughts, or your stress, or mental health, and all that? It can do that. So genetic disposition, it is the environment, that triggers, pulls the trigger, understand that. So it's a loaded gun, but you are the one with what you surround your genes with that will actually make that. And you know that a lot of Black people, especially Black women, go through a lot of stress. Single parenting, so many things. There's so much pressure on the woman to do so much to run the home. So chronic stress will also aggravate fibroids. So I'm going to end there.
Wow. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. You mentioned all this, you talk about the diet, stress, vitamin D. And later, while you were talking before, you said you went holistic. So I just wondered, can you add, some of the things that you did or you're still doing to help yourself to, keep the fibroid at bay?
Yeah. The first thing I did then was cut off red meat.
Well done.
I cut off red meat. I had to start looking at the things I felt I could, especially like Okpe mentioned, constipation. When you're going through pain, you take a lot of painkillers. I was on naproxen, diacodin, cocodamol, you could name it. And you get constipated when you're on those things regularly. I took them regularly. I could take overdose just to calm myself, to be able to walk around. And so the side effect is definitely going to be constipation.
That's right, yeah.
So I started looking at things that when I ate them, I noticed that I felt constipated. So I cut off dairy because I realized when I have milk, it was, oh my God, and that's a lot of estrogen as well. I cut off dairy, cheese, everything I used to love eating. I had to start taking them off. It wasn't easy. It wasn't something I did overnight. It took a while, but obviously when you're in so much pain, you're thinking about, what, do you want to carry on like this? If this is going to help, then yes. I cut off fizzy drinks, I loved Coke. Even more to Guinness, I'm a Nigerian. I had to start, cutting them off. I never used to like drinking water, but now there's water everywhere. I can't do without water. I cut off a lot. Everything. And then, yes, I started taking vitamin D, and some other supplements that supported me. Yes. And I just started watching what I ate, really.
Yeah.
So it all depends. Everybody has different things. I did an allergy test, or should I call it a sensitivity test, to see the things that my body is sensitive to. And even broccoli was there. And, when my friend was saying to me, some people are allergic to tomatoes and they don't realize it, I didn't even believe that. But yeah, so there's certain things that you'd probably eat and think it's doing you a lot of good, but it's actually not. Your body's not accepting it. So I think people should also learn to do allergy tests to know what is actually good for them and what they should take out of their diet.
Yeah. Thank you for mentioning the allergy test. Yeah, I know someone that does that. Right. So, Alero, you eventually had a total hysterectomy involving the removal of 4 organs, you said. Am I correct?
Yes.
That's huge. So what was that decision like for you? And did you feel like you were fully informed or supported?
It wasn't a decision that I came to lightly. It was hard. I promised myself I was going to cry today.
Sending you hugs.
Over the years, from the time I kept going back and forth, the hospital, they kept saying to me, "Oh, just have a hysterectomy done." And at that time, it was just fibroids we're talking about. And which everyone knows, once you complain about fibroids, the next thing is have a hysterectomy. And I said, I want to have kids. I'm not married. That's God's will for me. And it's something I've looked forward to having, a family. So even though I was struggling in that pain, I kept, visualizing having a family, having my children. So I said, no, I'm going to manage it. But it got so bad. There was a year I bled for almost 11 months or a little over 11 months nonstop. I kept they had to be giving me blood transfusion, iron infusion. It was bad.
Wow.
So, and just before, when I got better. When I say I get better, it means it wasn't staying that long, but I was having my periods for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, have a break for like a week or two, comes back. For me, that was like bliss. And then I noticed I was beginning to go back to having it for 2 months, 3 months. I'm in hospital. Even when they discharge me, I'm in hospital for 5, 6 days. They discharge me. I'm going back home still bleeding. It doesn't stop. Like, I'm there for them to stop it, but it's not stopping. It just went on and on. You can see how big I am. I eat, I do everything, but I'm not gaining any weight because I'm losing so much blood. And the pain was getting worse. It was getting worse. I became suicidal. I became so depressed. I was like, what's the point of living if, you can't even think about they're like, don't you want to get married? I'm saying, you're talking about marriage. I'm thinking about how I'm going to be better. I have to be better for myself before I can think about anything else. And it just got to that point when I was leaving the hospital and I said, you know what, something else is wrong, and that's when I had gastroscopy, colonoscopy. They found 2 polyps and took it out and all of that. And when they finished, they had the MRI again. And then that's when they said, oh, it's actually in your bowel now. And then the fertility clinic said, because of the result that came, even thinking about freezing my eggs, there's no point because my fallopian tubes are damaged, my ovaries are damaged.
Wow.
And then the specialist said, there was a 50-50 chance I might end up having a stoma bag.
Oh.
And when I heard that, I just said, you know what, I can't do this anymore. And I signed that letter, went back home, and I cried. And I just said, this was not my plan in life. And I asked God, what's going on? I'm talking about my health, talking about my experiences to help other women and young girls so they can check themselves early enough so they don't get to this point. And I'm getting worse. I'm not getting any better. And I'm tired of being cut open. I'm tired of, I'm tired of the surgeries. I'm tired. So I just said, you know what, let's just get it done. And so, so I ended up having my uterus taken out because of the adenomyosis, which was really, really bad. My fallopian tubes were damaged. My ovaries were damaged. All of that taken out. And then my cervix was taken out as well, just to avoid, future for cancer. And then I had the surgery for excision to take out the endometriosis around the areas that were left, and my bowel. My bowel was, will I say reattached? They cut out the areas that was damaged and reattached. And thankfully, I woke up and there was no stomach bag. Thank goodness. So there was no stomach bag because they weren't even sure that was going to be successful, but it was.
Wow.
And I'm now on that journey a year plus after. Still navigating. It's still not easy. But it's a lot better. I look better. I'm still healing mentally, emotionally, and physically. It's not a journey that I would pray for anyone to go through unless it is necessary. Not everyone needs to have a total hysterectomy. So now I'm on the HRT patch, and it's taking 3 different doses to find the one that finally works. And I'm hoping this one is going to stay this way, because the first 2, I was still having symptoms of menopause. And, surgical menopause isn't something, that's the thing. You have the surgery. You're not told what's going to follow,
Yeah.
what you're going to, you wake up the next day, you don't.
Yeah.
So surgical, if you're going through menopause, you already know there's perimenopause. Menopause is coming. Your body is giving you the signs, but this is you going into surgery, coming out, and
it just throws you
boom,
into it.
it's there.
Yeah.
And there's no follow-up, nothing to tell you anything. You have to find out everything yourself, research, ask questions to navigate. And that's what I'm doing now.
Wow. Sending you hugs and
yes,
my sister.
that is a lot.
And thank you for being brave to share your story and for advocating for other women as well. Thank you. So you talked about hysterectomy, Alero, and I want to ask you, why it seems like it's almost the first thing that's offered to women that have fibroid. Why is that? And what are some other womb preserving solutions that could be offered?
Okay, I believe that the reason why they sort of offer this first is because they're saying that once the womb is taken out, that's the ultimate treatment. Once the womb is taken out, so then there'll be no more issues with the fibroids. So that is the first thing. Secondly, there is this medical bias, just they don't believe in other things. I mean, as health professionals, all we are taught is give tablets and do surgery, and that is the answer. It's not about going really to the root of the problem, and really digging deep and say, how can we deal with the root of the problem instead of just dealing with the symptoms? So they find there's a medical bias towards it. And they don't believe so much. And this is me from as a health professional. In lifestyle and dietary changes, they don't believe that food and things can actually affect. But the truth is, when it comes to fibroids and hormonal issues, food plays a key role.
Absolutely.
Our lifestyle plays a key role. It plays a key role. And Alero has confirmed that with Brightina, because people just think, I can just drink as much Coke as I want and get, but Coke is loaded with so much sugar. And sugar, causes insulin, raising your insulin levels. And when the insulin levels are high, there's this thing called sex hormone binding globulin that is supposed to attach itself to estrogen, so that there's no floating estrogen to feed fibroids or attach to receptors. But when your sugar levels when you keep consuming sweet things, that globulin is suppressed.
That's right.
So that means you still have free floating. So food, that's sugar. That's why you're eating sweet things, you're eating processed foods, you're eating refined foods that look so nice. All those processing, they are going to keep aggravating it. So they don't really see it that these things play a role. It's only a few doctors that have now got into this area of natural healing that are beginning to talk about this. Okay, and they also consider it when this person has reached this person, like Halero said, fertility is no longer a factor. So what's there to lose? Just take the womb out. So those are key areas why they say let's just do the hysterectomies and just get it's easy to just get the womb out. Not thinking about the impact it has on the person that is going through it. Alera shared her story, and it's so emotional and everything.
Yeah, yes. Wow. Thank you. It's quite a heavy topic.
I think you asked about any womb preserving alternatives.
That's right. Yeah, I think you are looking.
Yeah, they can. I mean, the womb alternative. I mean, preserving alternative. There are about a couple of them, which are all these technical names. But one thing I want to say before I go, start mentioning a few of them, is that if they might try to say we want to do a little surgery here, and instead of taking the whole uterus out, but even if they take the fibroids out, I keep saying this to people. If they take your fibroids out without removing your uterus, and you still continue to live the way you were living before, it will grow back. And it happened to Alero. And this is what I say to clients when I'm dealing with them. You've got to change, because the root problem hasn't been dealt with.
That's right. Yeah.
The root problem, and that's the thing with modern medicine. We keep dealing with the symptoms, not going to the root problems. Okay, so there are a few of them, and there are all these big names. There's one they call myomectomy. I think Alera has mentioned that. There's another one called uterine artery embolization. It's a procedure that blocks the blood supply to fibroids to shrink them. And actually, there are a few foods that block blood supply to fibroids. And there are a few foods, that actually shrink fibroids. There was a couple of years ago, a lady was having, I think, digestive issues and was talking to me. So I said she should start taking digestive enzymes after her meals. She also had fibroids. But we didn't discuss fibroids. So I just said, take digestive enzymes after your meal, and also probiotics. And she started taking the digestive enzymes on an empty stomach. So when you take digestive enzymes on an empty stomach, there's no food for it to break down. So it will work as a proteolytic enzyme. Those break down fibrin. So it will be eating up the fibroid material.
Yeah.
Okay. So, but she said to me, I've noticed something. They found out that my fibroids are shrinking. I said, that's because you were taking the enzymes as proteolytic enzymes, and they were eating away at the fibroids. But it wasn't that. But if you had taken it with food, it would have been acting as a digestive enzyme. Exactly. So there's the myomectomy. There's the one where they sort of I'm trying to the uterine artery embolization, where they try to block the supply, blood supply. When you prevent blood supply, you're sort of killing it off.
That's right.
Then there's another one where they say there's medical management, where there's the hormonal options, but and then they give them. I did this one a lot when I was in pharmacy. They used to give them tablets to control the bleeding. So like tranexamic
acid.
And mefenamic acid also, they give them. The thing about most of these non-steroidal, a lot of non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs is that they do a lot of damage to the digestive system. So and then they end up now, prescribing them things to counter that.
All right, that's right. Yeah.
So they end up with things like, I need lansoprazole, I need omeprazole. All these PPIs, all these things. So the person continues to be on from one drug to the other. it becomes a vicious cycle. Okay? So that is one of the things. And that Alera went through that because she was on these tablets. The non-steroidal anti-inflammatory, they are horrible things. They're actually horrible. So those are just a few I just said, let me mention that can really do. But I keep saying to people that even if they take your fibroids out, I always say to people that before you jump and go and have surgery, if your fibroids are not too large, you must change your lifestyle to shrink it. Because I learned with her diet, she was able to shrink up. It is doable. But a lot of things I found with us that a lot of times we want quick fixes. We don't want to pay the price, we want everything now, and there's no quick fix in life. That fibroid took time to develop, so it's going to take some time to, so that's where we get. And you can't do it today and not do it tomorrow. So that's just it. So
wow. Well, thank you very much for that, Okwe. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Coming back to you, Alera, I mean, you've spoken openly about the severe depression you went before your surgery. What helped you to heal emotionally? I know you say you're still healing, but the fact that you're advocating for other women and educating them, creating a safe space, share with us.
I would say having the right support system around me was one of the biggest way to go. When I made the decision to have that surgery, I spoke with a few people and, they said, if that's what you want, So I had those people around me. And most importantly, I cannot emphasize on this enough. As a Black community, I know we hate it. Therapy. Therapy.
We are too spiritual.
Therapy has brought me. I was drowning. I was drowning. I must say, my therapist, amazing. Like, when I look back where I was and now, I'm just thankful. The reason I encourage therapy is this. As a Black community, we don't like to speak about these things. Already it's a problem, it's a taboo, just talking, the stigma, talking about periods. It's a stigma trying to, you say a woman that cannot speak to her mother or her father, her brother or sisters about her periods. It's crazy. And rather than speak to people around you, you die in silence. You keep everything inside of you. Stress is a major food for the growth of these disorders, fibroids and everything. When you are stressed, you're feeding them. So when you're keeping all you're going through inside of you, that's like your body is struggling to manage, and you're not talking to anyone. And you just hear some people break down or something has happened to the person. I'm saying this from my experience because I know it happened to me. And I'm waking up and I'm saying, God, why did you let me wake up again today? Why? I can't go through this again today. I am tired. There are days I just keep screaming, I am tired. I am tired. But because I'm a believer, I'm a Christian, I wouldn't say it doesn't come play my head, but I wouldn't say I'm just going to commit suicide. I know it is wrong. And I tell people, when you hear that someone killed themselves or had, committed suicide, don't say it's the person. I hear people say, oh, it's the person is a coward. No, there's a very thin line between life and death. When you are in a situation that you cannot mentally function, when you get to a point where you're so drowned that you're thinking about your date of birth and you can't put it together in your head. Trust me, you can make a decision that you wouldn't ever think you would make at that point. So therapy is one of the ways you look at it this way. This person doesn't know you from Adam. The person is not being judgmental or looking at you like, oh, you've done something wrong, but rather they're talking to you, listening to you, especially the listening part. You need someone that's going to be listening to you and that would, respond in a way that would make you open up. And as you're opening up, that's a healing process. You're throwing out all the junk, all the rubbish you have piled up in there.
Negative energy.
So that is one of the things. That's the major thing I would say. I need therapy. It's one of the things that's helped me through.
Yeah.
And then exercising. I go for walks. I'm still trying to learn to do stretches. I find it very boring, but yes, I need to do it.
Stretch.
I'm not a gym person, but yes.
No, that's fine.
It helps. And journaling as well. Journaling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. And those are some of the things I share on this show, on this program as well. You know, the importance of journaling, exercising. I mean, I teach exercise, so I know. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And, you know, they're good for our mental health, but, you know, physically as well. So we need to engage. And walking is a great form of exercise. I call it 3-in-1. You get the sunshine for your vitamin D.
Yeah.
You get the exercise, and you get the fresh air. What's there not to? Why not do it?
So true.
Yeah. So 3-in-1. And it's free.
It's free. Exactly.
Exactly. There's no gym deposit or anything.
Exactly. Yeah.
No gym subscription.
No, not at all. Not at all. I love walking. I could walk for hours.
I love it. I love it.
Lovely. So, another question to both of you is, so we talk about, you know, for you, Alero, you have this safe space that you have for women. Now, how can women advocate for themselves when they feel dismissed by the healthcare professionals?
This is a question that we need to ask more and more every time. Firstly, I'd say before you can advocate for yourself, you need to know what is wrong with you. You need to know exactly what you want to speak to the professional about, the healthcare professional about. So this is why I say to women, learn to know your body for yourself. Learn to know everything that's happening to you. Learn to journal. Know, okay, my period stayed for 5 days this month. Last month it was 2 days. This month is, you know, like the journal. Put everything down, because when you get in there, you only got 10 minutes.
Yeah.
You don't have time. Put down everything. The questions you want to ask, write them down. That's how you start advocating, because you start by saying you want to tell them what is wrong with you, because it is your body. You know what's wrong with you.
Yeah.
Don't let them gaslight you and tell you, oh, that's nothing. You know, no, that's normal. It's not normal to have pain. It's not normal to bleed heavily. It's not normal for your period to last longer than 5 to 7 days, you know. So when you're giving them this and telling them, yes, this is what's happening, I know something is wrong, and they see that you are actually confident enough to say what you're saying, then they will listen. What would you like? The next question is going to be, what do you think we should do?
Yeah.
Oh, I would like to have a referral. I want to have a scan done. I want this. I want that.
Yeah.
And then you take it from there. Another thing is join a community of women that are going through the same thing you're going through if you have been diagnosed, or if you see, the symptoms you feel you're having, you're seeing them talking about it in that community, then go join that community, learn more. And, you know, you get to see and hear, and also be in the midst of people going through the same thing, so that you know you're not alone in that journey.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Well, thank you. So first and foremost is being that body detective. I always say we need to be body detective. You need to know your body.
Definitely.
Know what is going on. Know when something is wrong and when it's not. It just reminds me of a story of a friend. This is years and years ago now. She knew her breast was not feeling right. And she went to the doctor first time. You know, she goes, yeah, it's okay. It's nothing to worry about. She went again. She said, no, I know my body. Something is wrong. And lo and behold, they found that she had tumor. So if she had not persisted, who knows?
Who knows?
Who knows? You know? I know in this country, we're grateful for the NHS. But like, you know, you just said, Alero,
it's not perfect.
It's not. We need to go
there.
We
thank God for it, but it's just not perfect. No system is perfect. So
absolutely. Yeah. And just go educate ourselves. That's the other point I was trying to get across. Educate ourselves, so that when we go to the doctor, we know what we're presenting to the doctor. Yeah. So thank you for that, Alara. Okay, so you've been a professional and being a retired pharmacist and working in this field of health and wellness. What do you think needs to change in how medical professionals treat women with complex reproductive disorders?
Well, I think Alera's more or less mentioned them. They've got to stop thinking that it's in the head of women. There should be more empathy. There should be more support. There should be more time for the women that are going through it to speak to them and ask questions. And they should be able to take along with them people that will back them up and support them. So there should be more time, instead of, there should be more. I know they're trying to save money, but they should be ready as much as possible to let these women go for as many investigations as possible. So that people don't go, because I never went through how many years of this. And because they didn't catch those things in time. And there were consequences for that. So tests, as far as I'm concerned, my GP, the GP I see, is not bad at all. He's quick to refer. But not all GPs are like that. So I believe that the NHS should look into that there should be a better referral system. Once they see that this person keeps coming back, then they need to listen and send the person for referrals. ASAP, tests should be done as much as possible. And if need be, if the person would like to, maybe they want to book an appointment, maybe they'd like to speak to a female doctor, they should make a female doctor available, or even a nurse who is maybe better in that area to be available, to give them all the supports that they can get, instead of just brushing them off. Okay, just take this box of ibuprofen and go. So just be there and provide, the other medical team, as many of them that can actually help the women, should be involved. There should be more integration. More integration, that there's no loophole. Okay, we've listened and this is going on. So let's now bring in this nurse practitioner who does this, or let's bring in this. Some GP surgeries have a lot of these special people there. Let's bring in this pharmacist into the review. This clinical pharmacist into review, so they can do all these things to give for better outcomes. Yes.
Thank you. So I know with Alera, with your Fem Hub, you help create that space for women, which is great. So we're being educated about our reproductive health. And Okpe, you work with women with, fibroid and other issues to help them be healthy and stay healthy. So what other ways can we, as a community, I suppose, shout it louder, create more awareness so that people are aware and educated about this issue, and in fact, other issues that is common in our community. Any thoughts on that?
Well, for me, I think we should start. How do you say it in Nigeria again? There's that proverb, you say, something begins at home. How do you say? Charity begins at home. That's it. Charity begins at home. Let's start from home. Start from your family, your immediate family, the people around you. Start from there. Talk to them about it. And then we go to the next step. If you're a Muslim, do it in the mosque, in the church. These things should be spoken about in church. I know someone, more than one person actually, who they were taking for deliverance when they were complaining about these things, rather than take them to the hospital. I know someone whose mom was told that it was because of something she did in her relationship that was causing it. So she needs to go and look for that person, even though she couldn't look for the person to apologize. And this was being said by a man of God, as they say. So you don't hear these things being spoken about in the church. We need to start talking about these things, because in the church, you have the children's class, you have the girls' class, you have, as you grow up, you're teaching them. These things should be put into the the teachers, the lessons for them to know. Because I mean, growing up, I was in the girls section, and I'll be, I'll go in the toilet, change. I'm back in less than an hour. I'm soaked. I'm soiled. Someone has to go in the choir to meet my mom, get her scarf for me to tie around my waist. There's nobody that's going to ask me, why did this happen? Or what do you need? There's nobody. And I'm feeling so ashamed. I can't even walk up to any adults to say, oh, I'm soiled. Can you help me? There's no provision of sanitary towels. There's no provision of any kind of support whatsoever. We need to put all these things in place in these environments that we're growing up, especially at the age of between the ages of 8 to 10. Girls should start learning about menstrual health, menstrual period, know what to do, know know the little things that they need to know, so they can at least know that, okay, this is what's happening to me. It's not right. Let me let my mommy know, or let me let whoever is there know. So we need to start from scratch, from the ground. We can't go up there and expect it to be okay down there. So we need to start from the basis. That's how I see it, really. And we have to break this stigma of not being able to talk.
Talking about
I still get it even now. I still get people telling me, why do you keep doing this? You will not get a husband.
Keep doing it.
Yeah. I keep saying, I learn every day. I don't know everything. I've experienced things. Doesn't mean people have worse than I have. People have been through worse things than I have. But I learn every day. I listen to other people talk. I listen to other people's experiences. I go for events to learn more. Not because it can change anything, but because I can use that to help the next person. And it's not just about, oh, I'm just saying my story to be popular. You can't get popular with such a thing. What are you going to get from it? But I'm sharing it because I want people to know that there are repercussions. When you keep doing the same thing over and over again, there will be no change. It'll get worse. So we need to learn now to change the narrative of what you're going through. Everything, the power is in your hand.
Absolutely.
Our body belongs to us, and we need to learn to love it by taking care of it and start to heal from the inside out.
Yeah. Thank you. This is the only place we have to live, so we need to look after it.
That's it too.
We need to look after it. Yeah. Well, thank you very much. Oh my, I just looked at the time. It's such a big topic. Ladies, I think we need to have part 2. Don't you agree? Because we need to talk more about this. So I will be already. In fact, I'm extending that second invitation right here and now. So thank you.
Not a problem.
Thank you. So, any last minute words for our listeners?
I'd say when it comes to fibroids, I mean, if it's not too big, I mean, then don't let surgery be the first. I mean, don't let it be and say, oh, let's remove the fibroids. And then let people just take their diets, just make up their minds that, okay, this fibroid is there. Diet plays a role. Lifestyle plays a role. So let me pay the price that I need to pay. And then also to get as much knowledge as possible. And when you get knowledge empowers us. But when you get the knowledge, you know what to do next. And you begin to take the steps, and then when you take the right steps, you begin to get the results that you're looking for. So when you're able to get to the root of why this thing is happening, because you've gotten the knowledge, then you've won. The battle is won, because you're going to have set out your life, your lifestyle, your daily activities in a way that you are making sure that this thing, I am not going to aggravate it. I'm going to make sure I do everything till it has no power. I am going to have power over this. And that starts with the mindset, and and then the discipline, and discipline, and maybe if it entails paying to go get consult, advice, then go get it. If it means, getting accountability, go get it. And don't try to be a lone ranger in this, type of situation. Just get out of, join the group, speak to people that know what they know about it, get support, get your family support, and all those things. So it really plays a big role. So that's just what I'd like to add.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Okwe. Thank you, Alero, for your time today. for coming to share your stories and your
Thank
expertise.
you for having me.
Really appreciate it. So,
Thank you very
where
much.
can our viewers find you? Okay.
I'm on YouTube and Facebook, TikTok. I'm there as my name Okulaja06 or my name Okoluaremo Okulaja.
Okay.
I'm also on YouTube and I have a podcast too. And both are titled Health is Wealth with Okpe.
Okay. Okay.
And I also have a WhatsApp group where I teach people about healthy living. So yeah.
All right. Thank you very much. And Alera?
You're welcome.
I can be found on social media as at Sisi Alero, which is my brand name. I started as a joke actually.
I love it.
Because I got that. So that's a story for another day. But yes, it's Sisi Alero. Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube. I'm not very good on YouTube, but yeah.
Wow.
But once you put Sisi Alero, it comes up. And then they have this women support group on Facebook, which is Fempower Hub.
Fempower Hub.
So you can find us there.
That's good.
All right.
That's
excellent. Wow. Thank you very much.
What's your name on LinkedIn?
I also have a website as well.
Okay.
It's Sisi Alero. Alero Mashola is my name. Alero Mashola.
Okay. Oh, Mashola. Okay. Because I'm on LinkedIn too. Yeah.
Okay. And my website is Sisi Alero as well. sisialero.com. So.
Okay. Oh, that's good.
All right, ladies. Well, thank you once again. And thank you to our listeners and viewers for joining us on this episode. Now, if the story has resonated with you, please do watch it again and share with another sister. Be your sister keepers. And let's remember, let's get wealthy together by staying healthy. And until next time, take care.